Broussard, normal people, unlike Nick Wright, were very worried about the Lakers' poor to mediocre start. Did this game alleviate any nervousness for you?
Well, I was never worried about them winning the first round. A lot of people think they could lose to Portland if that's who they play. I've never been in that boat. The problem is it's title or bust for the Lakers. And I think they're a great team. I actually think they're the second best team in the league. But the problem is I think the Clippers are the first best team. And I saw nothing last night to change my mind. Now, Nick Wright, from his tweet and probably from what he's about to say in a few moments, would like you to believe that they beat the 96 Bulls last night. All right? Listen, America. Denver did not play any of their starters for the entire fourth quarter. And that's not even counting starters Gary Harris and Will Barton, who were out and didn't play at all. So the Lakers had to struggle to beat, I don't even know, the reserves and some of the extra guys, maybe G League guys that they had playing in Denver last night with a last-second shot from Kyle Kuzma. So if Nick wants to ride that to Confidenceville, then by all means go ahead and do it. But let's put it in perspective last night. There were some good things, though. They did hit threes. Obviously, Kuzma's big shot. Anthony Davis went inside finally. His first 3 or 4 buckets were in the paint. I've been saying that all season. I'm glad the Lakers are finally listening. Get inside, big guy. See the ball go in the basket, hit some shots, get your confidence going, and then the rest will flow, and that's what happened. But defensively, the Lakers didn't do anything. Again, against a bunch of 9th and 10th men, they gave up 58% shooting, 56% from 3, so they still have plenty of stuff to work on.
Not great.
You know, so Broussard and I talk a lot on and off the air, but it's almost always about one of a couple things. Basketball, sports in general and basketball, and occasionally about parenting. Because we both are parents of Broussard's got a couple great daughters. I got 3 pretty good to great kids. And so we talk about those 2 things. We've never talked about books, about literature, about authors.
Oh, boy,
but I now know, given the last few days, who Broussard's all-time favorite author must be. He's got to be the world's most avid George Orwell fan. Because in his world, up is down, black is white, good is bad. Because you can come on here Monday and just speak effusively about the Clippers who lost to a Nets team who didn't play at all at any point in the game. Their 4 best players, arguably, certainly their 3 best players, and say, no, they're the best team. And then, after the Lakers beat a Nuggets team that rested its best players for the fourth quarter only, it's a sign of more of their issues. When their offense finally gets right, we now start saying, but once again, they couldn't defend. Defending has not been an issue for them at all in the bubble. They were an excellent team throughout the regular season, and even in the struggles in the bubble, they were an excellent team. So, for the few folks left who care about a dispassionate reading of facts, here is what the Lakers went to the bubble and did. They beat the Clippers, who many folks believe to be their toughest competition in the West. They then, in order to clinch the 1 seed, had to beat the Jazz. They did that. They then, after a bit of a slump, I will admit they played poorly for 3 games, played another top team in the West, and they beat them. They now have a 5-game lead on the Clippers for the 2 seed, which is the same gap the Clippers have over the deadly Mavericks for the 7 seed. And so, if we want to just keep creating narratives as to why Laker wins aren't actually good, why LeBron, Kuzma, and AD all scoring 25-plus is actually a sign of issues because the Nuggets decided to leave Bol on the court in the fourth quarter, I guess we can do that. I do, even though I'm not officially a part of Laker Nation Wilds, on behalf of Laker Nation, I will extend a thank you to Broussard for granting, I believe the Lakers can get out of round 1. How kind of you. How generous of you. A team who's got a guy who's going to finish second in MVP, plus Anthony Davis, second best record in basketball. He's got him getting out of round one, America. So, wipe the sweat off your brow there.
That's more
But,
than
yeah,
most.
I mean, Lakers. Okay, yeah, more than most, sure. So, Wilds, yeah. And by the way, I stand by every part of my tweet. People just have different definitions of what easy is. To me, the game last night was never in doubt. LeBron had a big game. AD had a big game. Everyone's going to rest now. It was a nice, easy win over the Nuggets last night, Wild.
Now, I guess so. We can dig into Kuzma's shot a little bit if we can run that back, Katanik. I wanted to show you something, Broussard, that I thought was interesting. Kuzma makes a shot. Look at LeBron, upper left corner. LeBron knows it's going in. After the game, they talked about how much confidence they had in him, and it feels like that's just something, to tell reporters after the game. But when you look at this, LeBron's really confident in him. And if we look at that's his first game winner of his career. LeBron's got 15. AD's got a few. Dion Waiters, of course, has only 2. I'm surprised he doesn't have more than that. Dwight's even got 2. So it's the first one from Kuzma. Good for him to get his confidence going in the bubble. I don't know if he's going to make a game-winning shot. Maybe he'll have a John Paxson type moment in the bubble here. How important was this for him in his space on the team to get some confidence with that shot, Broussard?
Well, I love LeBron's reaction because Kuzma sees that and he knows that shows that LeBron's got confidence in him. Kuzma's always had confidence in himself. Now, you've heard me on this show and others say LeBron needs a dog with him. That second guy usually is his dog when he wins championships. Dwayne Wade, Kyrie Irving. AD doesn't really, I don't think he has that dog in him, but Kuzma does. So if Kuzma can be on the floor at the end of games and give them something of a big three, that is huge for them. The problem with Kuz is you haven't been able to keep him on the floor late in games because of the defense. But in the bubble, he's been focused defensively. He's played some of the best defense I've ever seen him play in the bubble. He's been focused. He's been zeroed in, locked in. If he can stay that way and they can have him on the floor late, that'll be huge. The great thing about having a quote-unquote big three, and LeBron mentioned it last night, is if one of your big two is not having their greatest game, the third guy can step up. So the emergence, if that's what this is, of Kyle Kuzma could be really big for the Lakers.
And let me give immense credit here to Frank Vogel, because one of the benefits of being as superb as the Lakers were throughout the bulk of the regular season is they didn't have to win yesterday's game. So you don't have to say, you know what, it's a must-win game. We've got to let LeBron or Anthony Davis take the shot. You can experiment a bit. But still, most coaches in that spot, you're on a 3-game losing streak. You got folks like Broussard going on television saying you're far and away not even the best team in your own town. You'd say, let's get this win. And instead, they obviously wanted to get the win, but they were building towards a bigger purpose. And drawing, that wasn't a broken play that went for Kuzma. That was drawn up exactly how it went. They said that they'd been running that play in practice. He'd been making the shots. And Kuzma and LeBron both had quotes after the game that I think matter. Kuzma said, listen, I start on any other team in the league. The reason I don't start here is the two best players in the league are ahead of me. Now, that might be overstating it slightly, but it is obviously great praise for LeBron and Anthony Davis. LeBron talked about Kuzma needing to be that third star. Think about, Broussard, where we were a few months ago, or maybe 6 months ago, when Kuzma's trainer is going on the gram saying the problem with LeBron and he doesn't work on his game. And there was real questions about whether or not Kuzma and LeBron, if there was real friction there. The fact that those guys, LeBron's celebrating, as Wild points out, he's the first one to greet him. They draw up the play for Kuzma. Kuzma's going to have to hit big shots. When the Lakers play a tough opponent like the Houston Rockets or whoever comes out of the East, they are going to need Kyle Kuzma to make big shots. And I think this moment was far better than if LeBron or Anthony Davis Wilds had hit the game winner.
Hey, if this game wasn't tied, Broussard, do you still think Kuzma gets the call if they were down one?
Yeah, because Nick made a good point. Like, it wasn't a must win. So I think getting Kuzma's confidence up, having him hit that shot, showing the belief in him, I think that was more important than even necessarily getting the W. So, yeah, I think they draw it up for him. And look, he's a scorer. He can shoot the basketball, and they want to get him ready for the big moment. So, yeah, I think they do that.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.